G'day, it's Ryan the Lion from A Few Quiet Yarns, and we're sitting here in Rob's jungle, the new boardroom, the outdoors, and we'll get onto that later. But first of all, Rob Campbell, if you could introduce yourself, let us meet the person, or let them meet the person, and we'll talk about business later.
Okay, it's hardly a jungle, this is Ponsonby room. My jungle. I'm a company director, Rob Campbell. That's what I do most of the day. And so I guess that defines me. I like thinking about the sort of things that Ryan keeps raising in his work and in his video and in his commentaries, questions that test you a little bit. Those are the sort of things I like, and in fact it's why I like being on a company board, because every day there's some fresh group of new issues that you have to think about. You can choose not to think about them, and a fair few of my colleagues do choose that. But for me, that's the challenge. That's what I like doing. So I like thinking about things. I like challenging myself, and probably I talk about what I think too much. But that's me, Ryan. That's why I'm here.
Not at all. In fact, so we run a normal AFQI format, and today we're breaking away from that because we've got a bunch of questions that I want to get. I personally want to hear the answers, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy them as well. You know, speaking up too much, that comes into the leadership part of today's discussion. You know, if I go back to when I heard you speak at the Journey to Excellence, which I think was 2018, was it October 2018?
Yeah, that was quite a flash occasion, wasn't it?
Yes,
if I recall rightly, everyone was nicely dressed and behaving themselves.
Yeah. Well, I was there, and that was the first one, so I was very fortunate. And the point I wanted to make in terms of speaking up too much is that you spoke about subjects that we should be speaking about, but people weren't speaking about. And what you said was what the room might have expected a woman to say, not a man. So when you did, the whole room, which was predominantly women, because it's M2 Women Journey to Excellence, lit up, and so did I. And I sat there thinking, this room needs to be full of men to hear this. There's a whole range of causes that are top of mind, popping up every day. And I think the last thing before I jump back to you for the question is, I think the Me Too was a black swan event for that subject, but it opened up the door for any subject to be discussed.
Yeah, of course, the interesting thing about Me Too in that respect is that, of course, for women it was not a black swan event. For men it was a black swan event. For women it was an ordinary old white swan, an everyday swan. It wasn't, I don't know any woman who was surprised about that, surprised that so many women had experienced events of that kind, surprised that they didn't like it, surprised that they felt unable to raise it. So everything that Me Too raised for a woman was no surprise. And I've been thinking about that just recently and experienced it a bit just recently, where there's been a couple of publications recently on another aspect of diversity around Māori in New Zealand. And there's been, you know, publications come out and say something like, Māori don't get treated the same in the courts as Pākehā get treated. And you know, researchers read that and people write columns about it in the newspapers, all Pākehā. If you talk to a Māori person about that, they say, yeah, what's new about that? There's nothing new about that. We have the same thing at, you know, I'm a bit involved with BBM, and that mainly works out in South and West Auckland. And it's extraordinary the number of Pākehā researchers and health professionals who will go to Dave Latelli and the team at BBM and say, we want to do a study on Pacific Island or Māori obesity or diabetes. And everyone out there, all the people involved, they know the issues. They know what needs to be done. They know diabetes is a problem. They know amputations are not a good thing. They know stomach stapling is not a great thing to experience. They know that actually the answer is exercise, good nutrition, community and group support, social support around you, and they know that works. And yet the system keeps sending out these experts to talk to them about things they already know. And my thing about that is a bit long-winded. That's me. You get used
That's
to that.
all right, yeah.
My thing about that is that in so many of these issues of equality, the people on the receiving end know the issue and they probably also know the answers. It's only a mystery to the oppressor.